get your immigration questions answered. We're getting answers to your immigration questions.
All right, Maxwell, been waiting a while. Maxwell, how are you? In Indianapolis, Indiana.
Hello,
Maxwell. How are you?
Hello.
How
Fine,
you doing?
thanks. How are you doing today, sir?
What's going on?
I'm pretty good. So my question is, last year, July 18, 2019.
Yes.
Myself and my wife went for a USCIS interview in Indianapolis downtown. You know, the interview went well, and the officer said, "Hey, I'm gonna, push you guys to be approved." But since July, 2019 till now, we didn't hear anything back from USCIS.
It's been about 6 months, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So have you gone down to see what's going on?
No, sir.
All right. So I would start by making an appointment to go down, speak to an officer, see what's going on. If they give you the runaround, if they're not going to schedule you for a second interview, maybe they don't believe it was a real marriage, maybe there's a problem with your background check. If you still get no resolution, because Indianapolis, it's not a big immigration office, so you should be able to speak to somebody there. It's not like in New York City where it's impossible to speak to anybody. So I would go down, try to speak to somebody, go for yourself, see what's going on. If you don't get a satisfactory answer, then the next step would be to contact us, and then we would start to perhaps, as I get into your case more, do a mandamus.
Okay, sir.
All right. So do it on your own, because I don't want to have to charge you unnecessarily. But, Indianapolis, I've never personally been to the immigration office in Indianapolis. I got to assume it's not that big, and they're a little bit more personable than, New York, which is, enormous and, take a number. And go down and speak to them and see. And if you still can't get any resolution, then give us a call.
All right. Thank you so much,
You're
sir.
very welcome. All right. Let's go to Stella in High Point, North Carolina. Stella.
Hello.
Hi,
how are you?
How you doing?
I'm good. I have two quick questions.
Sure.
The first question is, my husband went for his interview at the consulate in Nigeria, and he was denied and given the letter 221A4, which is a public charge.
Right.
So what would be the next step?
Okay. We got to see what was, the next step would be, see what was submitted in terms of public charge provisions. Remember, they're doing new rules now where you have to be able to prove that he's going to have a job, medical insurance, all sorts of things now that they didn't require in the past, or perhaps your affidavit of support wasn't good. The first step is figure out what went wrong, and then the second step is fix it and get back in touch with the embassy before they ship his file back to the States. And then,
so there's a timeline that you have to do it in?
Yeah, I would say a couple weeks before the case gets shipped back to the States, and then you got a big problem. So hold on one second, all right? See, remember we talked about that the new affidavit support rules are going to affect abroad. So you're going to start you're going to start seeing, squad, calls coming in saying my husband got denied, my wife got denied, my parents got denied because they're not complying with the new rules. The old rules still apply here to adjustment. Let's go to Michelle in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Michelle.
Hi, Brad.
How
Good
are you?
evening. Good. Okay, I'm calling about my sister. My mom petitioned for her back in March of 2015
Right.
under the unaccompanied minor child under 21.
Okay. Is she a citizen, the mom, or a resident?
A resident.
Okay. And this was filed in 2015, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Did it get
then
approved?
It was approved and everything, and she got notice from the National Visa Center.
Did she turn 21 at some point, and that's why she still doesn't have a green card?
Yes.
Okay. So if she turned 21, she doesn't have a green card. She's now in the F2B category.
Yes.
They're doing cases in 2012. She's 2015. She's got about another 2 to 3 years to go.
Yeah, no, the thing is, she just received a notice from the National Visa Center to submit documents and stuff. But then she had a baby.
Okay.
So how would we submit paperwork for that baby?
All right. So before you submit your sister's paperwork, which would be basically your mom petitioning for her daughter, you write back to the National Visa Center and say, "Dear sir or madam, the beneficiary, whatever her name is, with this case number, whatever the case number is, recently had a child we would like to include on this case. Here is a copy of the child's birth certificate. Please include this child on the case and send the paperwork and fee bills, because you want the paperwork and the fee bills for this child. Wait for that, so that way you'll get the fee bills for the child too. You'll pay them, and then you'll submit all the paperwork at one time for both your sister and the child, which is the mother and child, so that they come together. Otherwise, the mom will be ahead of the child, and you're going to have a problem.
Okay, so the best thing is to write the letter.
Right, before you start submitting additional documents, and get the child included and get everybody on the same track.
Okay. And then secondly, during all that process, my sister, she had paid everything, the fees, visa fees and everything. She was just back in 2015. She was just waiting an appointment date back then when they switched it to F2B.
Right.
And then at that time, she had a different passport from a different country. And then soon after, she became a citizen, a British citizen then.
It doesn't make a difference. She's still on the same waiting list. Yes. All right?
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Okay. Let's go to Millicent in the Bronx. Millicent.
Hi, Brad. How are you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm calling about a family member, right?
Yes.
She do a fingerprint, right?
Yes.
And like from about October. And when she check it, they say, oh, your case is at the NBC.
Right.
And now, after the 15th of December, she checked her case. The case was up to date to show a fingerprint was taken.
Okay.
So she said the case was up to date to show a fingerprint was taken. So she was wondering why it moved from NBC to case was up to date.
It means that the case is processing along. That's good.
Oh,
okay.
Okay,
It goes from, think of it as going on a conveyor belt. You went to fingerprints, then the fingerprints were done. Now somebody reviewed and said everything is done, the case is up to date, and then eventually you'll get something that says it's ready for an interview, and then eventually you'll get an interview.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, Brad.
Think of it as a conveyor belt. Don't overthink it, but just think of it as a conveyor belt, all right?
All right, okay.
Okay,
Thank you so
you're
much,
welcome.
Brad.
My pleasure. Thank you. I'm the best. Thank you. I'm glad somebody thinks that. I'm glad somebody thinks that. Not everyone thinks I'm the best. Sometimes people think I'm number 2 or number 3. But this one thought I was the best. Stacy in Washington, how are you?
How are you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
The form on the USCIS website, it is expired. Do you think it's okay for us to use that form?
The form on the USCIS website is expired?
I-75, when you're applying for your 10-year green card?
Yeah, use the form that's on the website for right now.
Okay.
All right.
My second question is, if I want to get a nanny from Jamaica,
You would
is
have
that
to,
okay?
Anything's okay, but if you want to get a nanny to legally work for you, you would have to sponsor them in a job, and it would take about 2 years.
2 years?
Yep, there's no work visa for nanny.
All right.
So it would be for a green card. You would be sponsoring them for a green card.
Could my husband, who is a citizen, file for my mom?
No.
Okay.
So far, 0 for 2. I'm sorry.
Right.
I know you want your mom to come. As soon as you get your citizenship, that's when mom comes. You can file for her.
All right. Thank you.
Right, okay. Let's go to Cheryl in Hartford. Cheryl.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Brad. Thanks for my call received. I have a question. I have an interview for myself and my kids next month.
Right.
Do I have to bring the children with me?
If it's for your kids, yes.
It was for myself and them. My husband is filing
Yes,
for...
bring you. Anyone who's getting a green card has to go on the interview.
Okay.
All
So
right.
will they be questioned as well?
It depends on their age. I mean, you can't question a baby. How much could a
they're
7-year-old? How much could a
under-
7-year-old say? You know, but yeah, I mean, they could say, "What's your name?" You know, "Who's your mom? Where do you live?" You know, that type of thing. It depends on their age.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Miguel in Seattle. Miguel.
Yes, hello.
How are you?
I have a good, you?
Good.
Yes, I have a situation going on. I just renewed my green card.
You just got your green card or renewed it?
Renewed because it was a 10-year.
Okay.
And I was just doing arrested for I did a bad decision.
What?
And
you arrested? You whispered what you got arrested for?
For a sting operation.
A sting operation. What was?
Yes.
What were you stung with?
Like prostitution.
Okay, so you were not the prostitute. You were the John who was requesting sex from a prostitute, and you got caught up in all this, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, all right. Is this your first arrest ever?
Yes.
All right. What's going to happen with the case? Is it ongoing right now? Does your criminal defense lawyer say what's going on with the case? What's going to happen?
Yeah, he told me he's working on vacating the conviction.
They what about the conviction?
He's gonna vacate the conviction.
They vacate the conviction?
He is working to vacate the conviction.
Well, you've already been found guilty?
Oh, no, not yet.
So then you wouldn't be vacating a conviction if you haven't been found guilty. He'd be working to have the conviction dismissed, maybe.
Oh, yeah. He's working on, like...
So this is the story. Solicitation of a prostitute, most likely, I don't know the laws of Seattle, Washington, but I'm going to be pretty certain, 99.9%, that solicitation of a prostitute is going to be a crime of moral turpitude, if that's what you're found guilty of. Now, what the law says is that if you're found guilty of one crime of moral turpitude and it happened more than 5 years after you got your green card, it's not deportable. If you are found guilty of a crime of moral turpitude and the maximum sentence is 1 year or less and you did less than 6 months in jail, it's also a petty offense, which will allow you to travel. If it's not a petty offense, you can't travel. You would not be able to become a citizen if you're found guilty of this for at least 5 years or 3 years if you're in a bona fide marriage, if your wife didn't throw you out after she heard all this stuff. Hopefully not. But ultimately, until we know what is going to be the final outcome, and you make no final outcome, if you go to court and the judge says you got to plead guilty, your lawyer says you got to plead guilty, you have every right to say, before I plead guilty, I want to pass this by an immigration attorney so I know what my rights are if I plead guilty. If you're found innocent and the case is dismissed, then God bless you. Apply for your citizenship before you get arrested again.
Okay, and I have one more question.
Yes.
If I because I was working for a petitioner for my wife. Is this going to affect the situation at all?
You were sponsoring your wife?
Yes.
As long as you can prove it's a bona fide marriage, your wife's going to find out about this. Immigration's going to tell her for sure. So, she has to forgive you, and you got to prove it's a bona fide marriage.
Oh, okay, but it doesn't affect at all, or just
everything. It affects the fact that maybe they say this is not a real marriage, but I'm sure there's plenty of married men who go to prostitutes, so you wouldn't be the first person in the world. It's the oldest profession in the book, so people go for 3,000 years.
Okay. Okay.
All right?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Hold on one second. Sam in Dallas, Texas. Sam.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's happening?
Not bad. Yes, my wife came here in 2018 on a K-1 visa.
Right.
We went through all the steps or whatever, and she's going to receive her green card.
Great.
She's going to receive her green card today.
Wonderful.
But we had a situation where immigration came to the crib. So now on Friday, should we have any problems getting her passport back?
The immigration came to your house. They saw her together. They said everything's good, but they took her passport?
Yeah, they told us to report. We already did it once or twice.
Yeah, so if you approve for your green card, they should give you back the passport.
Okay, so we shouldn't have any problems.
No
okay.
problem.
Oh, that's it.
All right.
All right, no problem.
All right,
Thank you.
congratulations. All right. Let's go to James in Brooklyn. James.
Yeah, hello, Brad.
How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking my call, and
my pleasure.
Thanks for the good work you're doing.
My pleasure.
I got married to a U.S. citizen about a year and 2 months ago.
Right.
3 months into our marriage, I caught her making out with her baby father. Right.
She was cheating. She had a baby before you were married, and then the man was cheating in the house, and you walked in on it.
This is what actually happened. The guy was in prison, so he
came out of prison, and there he was.
He came out 3 months into our marriage.
Oh God!
So I back home one day. I caught them, making out.
Right.
Sex right in the
in your living room. In your home.
So
that's horrible.
And that was not so. After that incident, I caught her again making out with the guy. So I got upset and I moved out of the house.
I don't blame you. I would move out too.
The guy was coming home constantly. So I got scared for my own life.
I don't blame you.
I moved out of the house, and about 7 months later, I realized she was pregnant.
But it wasn't. But it's not your baby, I would assume.
It's not. No, it's not my baby.
Right.
Right now, I have an interview coming up in a week time.
You need to do a VAWA case if there was abuse. Okay. Otherwise, you don't have it. You don't have a case. She's not going to show up pregnant with somebody else's child, and you're going to have to prove it was a bona fide marriage and there was abuse. I don't know. I'm not hearing abuse. Cheating is not abuse. It could be part of a larger pie of extreme emotional abuse. That could be a portion of it. We would need to talk more. So hold on one second. Let's go to Charles in Oakland, California. Charles.
Yo, Brad Squad, what's up?
What's up, Charles?
What up, Charles?
I don't know, but he was happy. I don't know if I know Charles, but he was happy. He was very excited.
I have sent a couple of guys to you. I watch you every day while I drive. I've almost crashed my car.
Oh my God! Charles, calm down, man. Calm down. Don't crash the car over Brad.
I like Charles.
Yeah, look at him with the energy, waking us all up here.
Let's go.
What's up, Charles? All right, what's up, Charles? What do we got for you?
I sent one of my guys. He was like, "Whoa, man, that Brad guy is good." I sent another dude.
Yeah.
I watch you every day. And he go like, "Whoa, those guys are cool."
Charles is sending all his dudes. That dude Brad is good. What's your question, Charles? What's your question, man?
Okay, so I got 2 questions.
What?
And I need your help on this. I'm about to submit my I-864.
The affidavit of support.
Okay? Yeah, and my address on my affidavit of support is different from my current address.
Why?
So, actually, I moved. I was living with my brother briefly.
All right, so you got to put the address, change it and put the address where you live now.
Well, I've been trying to change it because the W-2 for this year has already been printed.
But that's fine. If you got a W-2 at the old address, you fill out the I-864 where you live now.
Okay. So there's no problem with the address, right?
No.
Okay, that's number 1.
Now, who are you doing this I-864 for?
Oh, for my wife.
You and your wife live at this new address, right?
No. My wife is still in Nigeria.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, it's fine. No worries.
Okay, that's number 1. So the address is fine. It's different from my current address.
That's fine.
Okay,
yeah, because you moved.
Then, I moved. So number 2 is what is the new affidavit of support rule that you said? Someone said people are getting denied now. So
that's right.
I don't know what's the new rule.
Well, the new rule is you got to show that you're going to be able to support yourself here with a job, and that you're not going to be able to take any government assistance. So if you are if you're
I earn
1 second. How much you earn?
I earn about over 24 a year.
That's not enough. So
$24,000 a year.
$24,000 a year gives you 125% above the poverty level, but it doesn't satisfy the requirement that your wife. I'm just telling you what the law is. I agree with you. But it doesn't satisfy the requirement that your wife's not going to take government assistance. They do a weighing. You know, if you earn more than $64,000 a year, that would be a positive. If your wife has a job offer, that would be positive. Get her a letter of an offer of employment. If your wife has an education, show her education. That would be positive. If you have medical insurance, get a letter from your job saying that your wife will be included on the medical insurance when she comes. Those are the things that you're going to need to do now.
Wait, so what do I do now? I can't submit just all the regular paper.
You can submit all the regular papers you want. She may want to bring this into the time of the interview. You may. I don't know. Have a consultation. Hold on. You need a consultation. Let's go to. I'm not sure who this is. Who do we have here? We have Tanisha in Boston. Tanisha. Hi, Tanisha. How are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
So my question is, I overstayed my visa, but my mom is a citizen. I tried checking things out, but one of the things that I'm seeing is that there's a penalty for overstaying, like for 10 years. Is there anything around that?
Yes. Let your mom file for you. You're over 21, so you're going to wait 5 or 6 years for your green card. You're going to be out of status all of those years. When the time comes for you to become eligible for your green card, you have to go back home. But before you go back home, you would file something called a provisional waiver. It waives the fact that you overstayed your time here. It waives the fact that you violated your visa status. So when you go home, you don't have that 10-year bar. You do that while you're physically here.
Okay.
So we can help you with all of this. Hold on one second. Let's go to Steve in the Bronx. Steve.
Yeah, good evening.
How are you?
Good. Yeah, so I have a problem with I applied for my kid, and then I filled the affidavit of support.
Right.
Yeah, but when I filled the affidavit of support, the US, the immigration say I should do the 864W instead of I-864. I don't know why.
Just do the I-864. That's why the I-864W would be just for somebody with less tax returns. Just do the I-864. You can submit that. That's fine.
No, I did it many times, but they reject it. They reject it because I have a sponsor, and then I have mine.
Well, if they're rejecting it, if they're rejecting it, that means you're doing something wrong. So at that point, I don't know the reason why they're rejecting it until I see exactly what you're doing. You should have a consultation. That's really the bottom line.
They say my kid is under 17 years old.
Are you a citizen?
Yes.
Ah, that's why. You don't need an affidavit of support because when your child enters the United States, the child's going to become an automatic U.S. citizen. So since the child's going to become an automatic U.S. citizen, you don't need an affidavit of support. So that's why you're filling out the I-864W saying it's waived. You don't need an affidavit of support. That's your issue.
Oh, okay. Because that's what they told me.
Yes, because you don't need an affidavit of support because it's the moment your child hits America, that child's an automatic citizen because he's under 18. He's living with his father in his legal custody.
Okay, because I got my citizenship from here. I was not born American.
Understand. When your child comes to America, the moment your child comes to America with a green card, steps 1 foot on American soil, goes from green card to U.S. citizen. So that there's never going to be a time when your child's a green card holder. So therefore, no affidavit of support required.
Oh, so the I-64W makes sense, right?
Correct. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, let's go to Damali in Guntersville, Alabama. Damali.
Hey, Brad.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
All right. So I filed my I-130 and my I-485, and I did my biometrics, and I went and got the biometrics done. I was told it takes 90 days to get a work permit. Is that true?
Under the law, it's supposed to be 90 days, but it's right now under Donald Trump, it's about 180.
100 and how much?
80. About 6 months.
Okay.
You just got to hang in there.
Okay. And they sent me a mail saying that they didn't get all the information that was needed, so I sent them what was missing.
Okay.
And I was just wondering if that
sets you back. So it's 180 days from the time you sent them the missing information.
Okay. All right.
So just
Thank you very much.
Hang in there.
All right.
All right, let's go to Rona in Rockville, Maryland. Rona.
Well, that's you. Hello?
Hi, Rona. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
So my mother filed for my sister, and we just found out that she has cancer, and so
What's cancer? Your mom or your sister?
the sister that they're filing for, and so her papers are coming through. But we wanted to know, is that going to hinder her from coming?
Yes, because we're going to have to show that she's going to be able to get medical coverage and pay for her medical care without the government paying for it.
Okay, and so she also has a child. Is there going to be a problem? Is it going to make it difficult for her underage child to come?
Yes, because we're going to have to show that someone's going to be able to support this underage child, because the sister with cancer is not going to most likely be working. She's going to go through medical treatment. So yeah, you're going to have a big affidavit of support problem, and that's under the new. By the way, years ago, from Barack Obama would have been an issue, but now with Trump, it's an issue.
Okay.
All right. So I think you're going to need the help of a lawyer to kind of navigate all of this. So hold on one second. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.